We got Virginia. We got Reno. Cool, you guys. I'm just going to give a couple more minutes just to kind of join, just to see. But thanks for showing up, you guys. I'm excited. I feel a little nervous, but I think that's normal. Hi. Yeah, and yeah, I really want to be honest with you guys, I just finished the full slides like 10 minutes before this. I was like, I'm gonna have this so ready. And so, but I was like being a perfectionist about it kind of. And I was like, I'm gonna shower and like get really cute. And then it was like 10 minutes. And I was like, all right, well. We got Canada. Sweet. I'm gonna say from Quebec. Hi, Maurice. We got Reno. All right, let me see if anyone else is trying to join real quick. And then let me pin me so you just see me. Cool. All right. Sweet. Okay, you guys. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what I've created for you guys. Let's see. Share this. Okay. And there. Okay. So you guys, for any point, like at any point, you guys can't hear me or you can't see my screen, you guys can either unmute or just write it in the chat. And yeah, thanks for coming, you guys. I'm really excited. It's something I've been working on for a while. And really, it's the whole purpose of this is I've seen how much yoga has shifted and changed my life in really big ways, but also in a lot of small ways, just in my day-to-day life, how I interact with myself, my thought process, and then also how I interact with the people in my life and just kind of everything also that happens there. And so that's where this is coming from, because I've seen the gift of yoga and I've seen how many people have helped me. And so I've created this to maybe give you guys some skills and tools that after this class, you'll be able to take with you into your everyday life. And yeah, just feel more connected and grounded within yourself and just live from a more energetic, purposeful feeling life. So a lot of it's about feeling state. So yeah, so welcome. I'm just gonna, if I keep interrupting, I'm letting people are starting to come in as I'm talking. And so welcome for the other people who just joined. I'm really excited. And yeah, like I said, if anything glitches or whatever, it is technology. So just feel free to write it in the chat. And yeah, so here we go. So yeah, Purpose Energy Masterclass. So let 2023 be your best year yet while connecting to your purpose is the title of this masterclass. And I was really trying to sit with what purpose energy is and what it meant to me. So we're going to dive into that, as well as some of the limbs and aspects of yoga rather than just the physical posture, and really talking about regulating your emotions and just really how to connect with your highest self to show up for yourself in a way in your life that feels really sweet. So before we get going, I just wanted to talk about how to live a more peaceful and present life. And I want to engage with you guys right away by you guys writing in 3 words how you think you live a more peaceful present life. And there's really no wrong answer here. You can really write anything. It can be a sentence, or it can be just 3 words that feel aligned with peaceful and present life. Whatever comes up, it doesn't have to be too much thought to it. I'm just kind of curious if you guys have any thought processes on what you think you need to live a more peaceful present life, or if you feel you're already living in that state. Okay. And oops. Okay, awesome. For some reason, I'm actually going on here and I'm like trying to read the chat, but I'm not sure if when I'm sharing the screen, if it's not working. Okay, well, that's okay. If I'm not able to read the chat right now, I'll go back and look at it. But if you guys want, feel free to read what people have written or write it down for yourselves. But for me, living a more peaceful present life is really choosing how you feel in the moment. So there's so much power in this. And for me, I think a lot of times people see me as like a really happy, energetic person, which is the truth to a lot of my state of being. But I still experience a lot of these emotions. So the feelings still arise, but yoga gives you the tools and the choice of how to interact with these emotions. And so an example I really like to use is, say you are having a day and you're having a lot of anxiety. You can think of yourself as the driver in a bus, right? Like you have the wheel, you're driving the bus, and then anxiety comes up next to you. Well, a lot of our natural state is to let anxiety take over, grab the wheel, and then start driving the bus. And now you're totally out of control. Anxiety is driving the bus. It's hitting things along the way, and you're not in control of your state of emotions anymore. And you feel a little bit irregulated. And what yoga can help you do is start to observe it. So it's not that you kick anxiety completely out, but it allows you to take control of the driver's seat, keep your hands on the wheel. You still acknowledge that anxiety or sadness or whatever emotion is coming up, and you allow it to sit with you. You give it space, you comfort it, and you ask what it needs while still being in control of your bus. So now you're the observer and you're able to sit with both emotions and feel regulated and calm in the moment, but still allowing for that emotion to arise and giving it the space and the healing that it needs. So yeah, so having compassion for these emotions as they arise, a place to be, but the interaction changes. And this is when you start living a life full of more peace and presence, when you're able to regulate your emotions. And so, yeah, yoga gives you the tools to do this, and the skills you need are already inside of you. And so I'm just here to teach and guide you on how to access these tools. And I chose this little kind of comic strip or whatever you want to call it here. I just really like that because I think it really embodies a lot of our society today. Our body obviously is always present in the moment, because as of now, maybe technology will change this. But your body's always in the present, but our mind often is in the past and the future. And yoga really gives you the present moment. And that's been one of my greatest gifts thus far in my life. So as we get going, a lot of you in here already know me. Some of you know me from past experiences, small experiences, but I just wanted to introduce myself and give you a little bit of my story here on one slide. My name is Taylor. Obviously, I'm 29. I think it's really awesome that I'm going to be 30 in a couple months because of all the things I've accomplished thus far. But yeah, I was born and raised in Reno. I've always loved nature and being active. I'm a loud, bright spirit filled with lots of love and compassion. I've also struggled with a lot of ups and downs of the emotional roller coaster that life gives us, just like I think all of us have. But yoga has gifted me the ability to feel confident with anything life puts my way. And I would say that most of my days are a range of emotions. I experience all of them, and I think it's really beautiful. And it still like allows me to sit, like yoga still allows me to sit with these emotions and understand that they're impermanent. So the difference is now I have skills from many years of studying yogic wisdom of how to navigate them. And then down below, I've just highlighted some of the moments in my life of how I've overcome fear and why I feel ready to share this wisdom with you guys today. Because I think fear-based thinking and thought process is a really big thing. And if I would have listened to most of my fear-based thoughts, I would not have done probably any of these things on this list. And all of the fear-based thoughts have come up before I've done any of these. And I've pushed past it, and I've had experience after experience of learning, okay, like that's a fear-based thought. It's not the truth of my experience, and my past experiences have taught me that I have gained really beautiful connections and learnings if I'm able to move past it. And yeah, so for as actual yoga trainings, I've done over 1,000 hours of trainings in Ashtanga and Hatha and in-depth study to become a 500-hour teacher trainer. I've traveled to 40 countries, most of them solo. And my most recent thing that I did was I graduated with my master's in Spain. And then I walked for 1 month with just my backpack across northern Spain, which I feel really proud of, because when I was first starting my journey, a lot of people told me to not travel before I finished my studies. And now I have done both. I took a bit of a different path. I graduated with my undergrad when I was 26 and just graduated with my master's when I was 29. So just that gentle reminder that your path doesn't need to look like anyone else's. And again, coming back to the beauty of yoga and its gifts is that it allows you to really connect with yourself and your purpose, to really trust what you need on your path in this moment. Some other things that I've done that have really shifted and grounded me in this practice is I've sat in silence for 10 days in a Vipassana meditation center. I've lived on communities and worked on organic farms across the globe. And the past 7 years of my life has been dedicated to studying myself through yogic wisdom. I show up daily. My discipline now comes easy, and I have created a life full of freedom and acceptance. And I really believe disciplined practice is kind of where it is all rooted from. And so, yeah, we're all in this space together. Oh, it's okay. I went back, but yeah. Oh, all right. So yeah, so we're all in this space together, and I'm excited to have you guys here virtually with me. I think it's a really neat tool. And before we get in a little bit deeper, I want to take a moment for us to tune in. So yeah, time to tune in. For those of you who don't know what pranayama is, it's one of the limbs, they call it the arms of yoga. There's 8 limbs of yoga, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. But pranayama is just breath work. It's just an energetic force that runs through you at all times. It's what keeps us alive. It's what keeps us connected. And so I want to take this time to tune in. I'm not going to do the chat thing right now. Technology's, I'm learning about it still, but if you want just to take your shoulders and roll them down your spine, close your eyes and just take a moment to yourself, maybe put one hand on your heart and then the other hand on top, and just ask yourself silently, how are you feeling in this moment? So we're going to do a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being low, anxious, sad, unpresent, and then 5 being fully present, happy, and alive. Again, there's never a wrong answer, just seeing what comes up organically. It can be a mix of both. Maybe it's the first time that you've checked in or tuned in with yourself today. And then you can keep your hands there if you want, or if you want to find a more comfortable posture, you can. We're just going to take a few minutes here to connect with our breath to help ground us. I always like to do this before I'm teaching a yoga class to help ground me in. I have a very elevated energy, and so it helps kind of make me feel a little rooted. And it's a tool that's really helped me in my life because it's something you can really connect with and you don't really need much time. So breath work is really good to calm the nervous system. And this is a really nice tool you can use anytime if you feel ungrounded and need to return to the present moment. So go ahead and close your eyes, roll your shoulders away from your ears. Again, place your hands anywhere that feels comfortable. Maybe your palms are on your knees. Palms can be facing down if you do want to feel a little bit more grounded. If you want a little bit more energy, maybe palms facing up. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And then a nice exhale out the mouth, letting something go. 2 more like that. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more, just like that. Inhale. Letting go of anything you might have grasped on to today, and then sealing the lips, and just start to invite in a nice, even breath in and out through your nose. And just noticing the lengths of your inhales and the lengths of your exhales. Maybe you invite in a small tuck of your chin, elongating your spine, opening up through your heart. And then we're going to invite in a 5-count breath. So on your inhales internally, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep moving with this rhythm for a few more rounds. If the 5 count feels like too much, you can invite it down to 3. If you feel like you want to add on, you can invite it up to 8, but just moving here with your breath. Feeling the expansions on your inhale. Feeling the pause, maybe in the thoughts as you hold the breath, retention. And then feeling everything ground back down on your exhale. Let's just complete one more round here at your own pace. Once you've completed your final round, keep your eyes closed. And then return to your normal breath in and out through your nose. Just taking an extra moment to observe your body. And taking a moment to observe the state of your breath. Does it feel shallow or short? Maybe now it feels a little bit more long and deep. And then start to observe the state of your mind. Simply observing with compassion. Maybe there's a lot of thought processes going on, or maybe this tool has already shifted your experience to a little bit more present and calm state. And then gently opening the eyes, or you can keep them closed. Just inhale your hands, reach up, palms touch, and then exhale, hands through heart center. 2 more like that. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, hands through heart. And last one, inhale. And then exhale, hands through heart. If you're in a seat and it feels all right, maybe you just take a small twist, however that may look. Maybe you take your left palm on your right knee and your right hand behind you, and you gaze over your right shoulder, twisting anything out that doesn't serve you. And then inhale, come back through center, and then just twist to the other side. And then shake it out, wiggle it out. Anything that you don't want in your body anymore, start to shake it out. And then just start to allow yourself to be present for these next now 40 minutes with me, and just start to tune in, and we can dive a little bit deeper together. All right. So my next slide talks about yoga, which is really my everything. So what does this word mean? And what does yoga mean to me, really? Because everyone's going to have their own definition. And like I always say, there's really no wrong or right answer. And that's the beauty of doing your own self-work and connecting with yourself again, is you have your own truth and your own confidence, your own inner wisdom. But yoga to me is reconnecting with yourself each day, really committing to that self-practice. Yoga to me means truth. So showing up for truth in myself, showing up for truth in my words, showing up for truth in my relationships, showing up for truth in my actions, and taking that time to observe, because we are only human. And so It's a lot of practice. And yoga to me is the study of the self. And I'll just kind of go over to this little diagram we have over here, the photo, and the center being the self. And then there's 8 little circles around it. And some people might know and some people might not, but there's 8 limbs of yoga. And the Western world has really focused on asana, which is the physical, the posture practice, which has a really, really valuable piece to it. But there's also 7 other limbs. If I was going to go into all 7 limbs today, we'd be here for, well, my 5-month yogic wisdom course that's going to be starting in February. So I just wanted to highlight that there is these 8 limbs of yoga, and they each have their benefits to them. And yeah, hi Carly, someone else just joined. So yeah, I'll kind of, before I go a little deeper into this, I'm going to cruise over here to the left and talk about this example of what yoga does for me and what it means to me. Is something so simple. In the morning, a lot of mornings I wake up feeling anxious, or I feel like it's this energetic feeling of like, I feel like I need to do so many things, but it's such an elevated energy that I really feel like I can't do anything. So, and it kind of throws me for a whirlwind because I have all this energy, but I can't focus. So I have this disciplined practice that I know if I use as a tool, this will shift my emotions to presence and peace. And I've seen it day after day after day for the last 7 years, that if I really just show up for my disciplined practice, my anxious energy turns to presence, peace, and creativity. And all I need to do is move my body, breathe, and sit in stillness. Now, everyone's disciplined practice or yoga can look different. For me, mine is a little bit more traditional. It reminds me exactly where I need to be. I wake up in the morning. I know I need to breathe. I need to do some type of movement, even if it's 3 sun salutations, even if it's only a 5-minute meditation. I understand that this will shift my entire day. And then everything is allowed to be flowing and feels really creative for me. And so, yeah, I have a deep gratitude for yoga, and yoga encompasses all aspects of my life. The physical practice, the asanas, is just one part of that. And that is why I'm creating this yoga wisdom course that's starting in February, because I want to share all 8 limbs just to help us all live a really purpose-driven, energetic, fulfilled, freedom, fun, playful, loving life. So diving into what is purpose energy. I really like this photo over here. My friend Gabby's on the call right now, and I feel like when I chose this photo, I thought of her. But I mean, this is representing the chakras, which we will not be going into right now. But I really like this photo because it shows all of the energy that's already within you, all your inner wisdom, everything that is here, and access a place to reroute back into yourself. And then the light around it is all the energy and beauty that's all around you. And so it's encompassing everything, that we're all connected. And so purpose energy defined to me is being so connected and in tune with your own inner wisdom that you have confidence in your choices. You make decisions in your life based on what feeds your soul, not off fear-based thoughts. You have created enough trust and deep knowing of who you are, that you are living from a place of purpose and full connection. You feel energetic and alive in your day-to-day routine. You feel fulfilled. All emotions still arise, but your reaction to them is different. You have the skills in your tool bag to use in every situation. You can handle whatever life throws at you because you are one with life, not separate. So, I mean, that sounds really beautiful, but to get there is another thing. And so you need these skills to be able to access this purpose energy and to have that feeling state. And there's 3 of the limbs I want to talk about right now. So how do you use yogic skills to connect to your purpose energy in 2023 and really just in life? It gives you this safe space to always come back to. So the number 1 I put was start by observing your actions and your reactions and get clear on what in your life is not serving you, and get clear on things that you desire. This could be as simple as a feeling state. Like in the mornings, I don't want to feel rushed. So what can I do in my life to change that? Or in the grocery store, I don't really like feeling impatient when I'm waiting in line, even though I have nowhere to go, but I still feel impatient. Right. So there's a lot of shifts that you can make in your life that come up in the little moments. And so this one is really dealing with the first of the 8 limbs of yoga, the yamas. So it deals with one's ethical standards and sense of integrity, focusing on our behavior and how we conduct ourselves in life. So number 2 is learn to love your disciplined practice. So niyama, the second limb, has to do with self-discipline and spiritual observances. And the yamas and the niyamas have way more to it, which we'll go over in my course. I'm already going to have trouble getting through all of this. If you guys know me, I'm a pretty big talker, and I'm really passionate about this, this wisdom. So that being said, find something that you love doing, because if it's a disciplined practice that you don't enjoy doing, then you're not going to want to show up for it, or it's going to feel like a chore. My morning routine and showing up for my meditation practices or showing up for my deeper work or creating my courses is something that is disciplined, but it's something that I also enjoy. I get excited to do it. Of course, I have mornings or days where I feel more tired and I don't want to do it, but I have enough experience and research, I would call it, that has proven to me over and over again that it's going to help me. But it's overall something that I really love doing and I enjoy. And so find something that you enjoy doing that you feel will shift and change your life. And then number 3, move into your body and out of your mind, which is asana, the third limb, which is, we all know how much better we feel after we move our body. It's proven, and we've all felt it. When you even move your body for a 10-minute walk, or you go outside, or you do a stretch, or you maybe flip upside in a headstand, you're going to get a change of blood flow. You're going to get new things flying into the brain. And it's going to allow you to feel a little bit more grounded once you've released some of this energy. Again, your physical practice can really look like anything. I happen to love the physical practice of yoga, and that's something we'll go over in my course as well, of different teachings, but you have to find what really suits you in your body. And every day is going to feel and look different. So I have a slide about mindfulness here. I think it's a term that's really used a lot and can be kind of elusive. And I think it can have a lot of different meanings. So I'll read you my definition. So mindfulness, observing the moment as a whole, not only from your world, but from everyone else's world. We all have different experiences in our lives that bring us to this moment. Each experience shapes our lens, how we view the world, and our beliefs. Taking a moment before you react towards yourself and others. You can use a simple pause by taking a deep inhale and exhale. You can tell yourself, I need to step outside, take a walk, to give the emotion time to shift, to not feel so tight and close. Before I go on, I just want to touch on some of the things that I set up here. I think that's something to really pay attention to. And it's something I've really had to work on in my own practice, is reminding myself that not everyone has lived the same life that I have had. Not everyone has had the same experiences that I have had. And just the same for you guys. And so I think it's really easy sometimes to kind of live in a box like this when we view something and only see it from our lens. But when, again, we can step back from that observer perspective and be mindful that everyone has had a different experience to get where they're at, you can then be a bit more mindful of where the other person is coming and not only see everything from your world. It can still be your truth, but everyone else has their own truth, and that's equally as valuable. And I talk about, taking a step outside, and that's something that I've seen within me. If something is bothering me, I know I've learned to be mindful that I need space and I need time, and then it will shift rather than attaching to the moment. So just starting to really be paying attention to your emotions and being mindful with your with your interactions with other people that you care about in your life, because it's going to really transform your relationships. So yeah, you find ways in each moment to be mindful from past experiences to learn what really makes you feel better. For example, does always sharing your opinion because you are right feel good? Or does letting the person share their truth and you being an ear feel better? And so that's something you can do, that's being really mindful, and it's probably going to make your state feel better and the other person who is learning or speaking to you feel better as well. And that's also something they talk about in one of the limbs of yoga and the yamas, is talk about non-stealing. So being mindful that non-stealing can also mean stealing from someone else's experience, including your own. So yeah, it's simply about observing your feeling state after each moment and trying again and again to practice the state that feels good and holds more truth, being mindful and wise in each situation as they vary, slowing down, be grounded. And this all really starts with your morning routine, which we'll get into in the next slide. So the more time you take to connect back to your highest, truest state, the more mindfulness you can invite to your day. And I can sit here and guide you, but this is a practice to be fully digested. So it takes just by showing up for your meditation and morning routine practice. So speaking of that, sacred morning routines, I find this really sacred to me. And I liked this photo up here at the top. I thought it was really playful and fun. And I also thought, for me, at least, it really represented how I kind of feel in the morning. I'm like energetic, but I'm like, oh, like, do I want coffee or do I want food? Or, ooh, has the sunrise already come up? But am I hungry? Like, do I want to do yoga first, or like, do I want to meditate? And like, I have so many thought processes, and I'm also a morning person. And so it's exciting for me. And I know everyone doesn't feel that way. And this is why I talk about over here, morning routines can be hard if you have to be to work really early. And so what if you committed your morning routine to only being 10 minutes and started there? What if your deep work was these 10 minutes? You can be present and committed to these 10 minutes. And then the rest of your morning, while still at work, could you carry your mindfulness and yogic wisdom with you? So we will talk about this a little bit next on the next slide, but your morning routine doesn't have to be, I am really grateful that I do get to have slow mornings, and I've created the life to allow myself to have these, but I understand that is not the case for everyone. So if you can commit yourself to 10 minutes daily of something that feels nourishing and good for you, then once you have that deep practice, it can still continue on your drive into work. When you're listening to your music, when you're talking to your coworker, whatever you're doing, you can bring that sacred morning with you as you continue on through your day. And yeah, so I really have seen how morning routines have shifted like my client's life in the past. It seems like a thing that's really talked about so much, but it's because it's so important, and it just sets the tone for your entire day. And again, you get to reconnect and be rooted back into yourself. So you get to lead from your highest state and your highest frequency, right? So I have that here, the 3 words, write in your morning routine. We're not going to do the chat today, but I'm going to have a journal prompt at the end. If you want to add that in, we can. And I want you to just take one more moment here and just roll your shoulders back, wiggle it out, close your eyes. If you could imagine what your morning, your ideal morning would feel like or look like, what would it be? Again, it can be a feeling state, peace or presence, or it could be, like journaling, reading, coffee, slow walks, the best breakfast ever, sleeping in, whatever it might be. And then gently opening your eyes, and just a gentle reminder, you really do have the power to create the life that you want to live. And each day may look a little different. And so finding acceptance in that it's not going to always feel how it did the day before, and you're not always going to have the same amount of time, but just trust that you will show up for yourself every day in the way that you can that day. And that's why I chose this photo down below. I really like it. It's like every day you're feeding and growing your mind. So yeah, so this slide, take your practice off the mat, is something that's really huge for me, because I think when people hear the word yoga, they think of, like a yoga class or like the yoga classes that I teach. And it is that, and it's also more. In yoga, off of your mat can look like a lot of different things. Let me see. For example, I was talking about it with my business coach, Erin, who's actually on the call right now. I was telling her the story of, there was two types of ladies. I was in a local coffee shop, and there was this lady who came in, and they were out of the coffee beans that she wanted. And the lady working was being really friendly, like, I'm so sorry, we ran out, we had a busy day. The same interaction had also happened with me, and the way I reacted was very different than the way that this lady reacted. She was really, really upset. She was, just saying really negative comments. I watched her whole demeanor change. Like, I can't believe this. I can't believe you guys don't have my coffee beans. You're supposed to always have them Tuesday. Like, it totally shifted her entire world. Her world in that moment went from like, happy I'm going to buy coffee beans, to like, I'm anxious, I'm angry, I'm like totally in my own bubble. And now her whole state is shifted. The girl who was working didn't like the interaction. I could watch her shift, like her state of being shifted. I felt the energy coming towards me. And so taking your practice off your mat is something that is really valuable and important to me, because in moments like that, yeah, maybe the annoyance will arise like it did in me. I was like, oh, dang, I drove all the way over here to get these coffee beans. But then you take a second, you're like, okay, well, it's just coffee beans. And also, it's not this girl's fault. Like, and also me reacting in a negative way isn't going to fix the problem at all. It's just going to change our nervous system. It's going to elevate all of these negative energies that's going to go out into the world. And so with yogic tools, you're able to come back, observe, and be like, okay, that's annoying, and then be able to move on. And so to me, that's a really beautiful example of taking yoga off of the mat into the real world. And that is why showing it for your daily discipline practice is so important, because you have something to connect to every single day, because all of these emotions are going to happen all of the time. And it's not always easy to connect to this like higher state. And I don't even still do that, but then I'm still able to, after, observe how I acted, reflect on it, and next time try and do better. Or better might not be the better word, but next time try and react differently and notice how I feel. Right. So just simply always observing with compassion. And I like this picture here, the mindfulness and meditation, because they're both really intertwined. And to me, this means sitting with myself in meditation allows me to bring that into the world and be more mindful and connect deeper with all other beings around me in a cleaner way. Okay. So meditation is huge for me. It is something that is in my daily practice. And I get a lot of comments about meditation, like, oh, I can't meditate. Oh, like my brain is too active. I feel uncomfortable. I get a lot of comments like they just can't meditate. And from past experience, I used to feel the exact same way. And I don't know, a couple of years ago, I realized I was sitting in meditation, and I thought about how when I first started, for the first couple of years, I would feel like really irritated in my body, and I couldn't wait to get out. Sometimes I would do a meditation and I would be like, oh my God, I feel worse than I did when I started. Like, what's the point of this? And then I realized, like, this, I've been practicing meditation deeply for about 7 years now, but like a few years into my practice, I realized, oh my God, I don't get irritated at all in my body, like really ever anymore. Occasionally, of course, I don't feel like sitting there, but it completely had shifted. And I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I've seen like the deep work actually like transform how I feel in a seated meditation. And so yeah, like the main purpose of yoga is to be able to have an open body, a relaxed nervous system, and a regulated breath to sit in meditation comfortably. So one of the main purposes of yoga is really to be able to feel comfortable to be in a seated meditation. So by moving your body through an asana practice and using your breath throughout, after, or before, you are now ready to sit and connect deeper with your truest self. It is like a cleansing ritual you do before getting to your seated meditation. It's like you're cleansing all parts of your body, your spirit, your breath, everything to be able to sit. And once you have a deep discipline practice, you can drop into this meditative space with the less of a warm up. So I like the idea of warm up because meditation is like any other workout. And that's why I chose this little guy down there, lifting the weights. And because, we a lot of us can make time to go to the gym and we see our muscles grow and our body shift and change, but our mind is the same. It is a workout for your brain. You have to be consistent and know each day will look and feel different. Just because I've been meditating for 7 years does not mean I'm sitting in like this enlightened state the whole time. Sometimes I'm like thinking about a story from 5 years ago with an ex-boyfriend, or sometimes I'm sitting there in my meditation, like thinking about, all the things I have to do. And so it's not always this thought-free space, but when you do find that space and you can connect really, truly with your highest self, it's really everything. And this is the gift that's been gifted to me, and I want to continue to gift with the people in my teachings and in my courses. And something else I want to touch on with a meditation is the benefits of the seated meditation versus other meditations like walking or lying down. There's so many varieties of meditations, and they are all beautiful and they all have benefits. But for me, the seated meditation, I have seen a lot, like the most benefits for connecting with my purpose and with my highest self. And that's because in a seated meditation, you are more alert and attentive. You have less distractions, even though it can be more difficult to sit there. Just be patient with yourself and continue to show up, even if it's a 2-minute meditation. And if you need to move, that's okay. It doesn't have to be this rigid practice. So yeah, we will continue. And balance and discipline and how to achieve it. I really liked this little like photo here, because I feel like that's exactly where I am at in my life. And another reason why I'm here sharing all of this is because I want everyone to feel exactly how I feel. That's not a thing, right? Like everyone's going to feel their own way, but I want everyone to have that balance of a disciplined, beautiful self-study practice, then that allows them to have the balance of creative freedom to do what they want with their life and share from their purpose, right? You have this like energy, this creativity that flows inside of you. You've now created the disciplined practice to get to really know yourself. And now you have the tools and the skills to be able to start to create and live the life that you dream of. And I've seen this firsthand with finding the balance. I had when I was really like young, like 16 to probably like 21, I was really, really big into partying. And then 24, I had some transformational teachers, and I was really strict for about 2 years, following a really deep Ayurvedic diet. Not drinking alcohol, no stimulants, no caffeine, like no fruit after different foods because of digestion, waking up at 4:30 a.m. every day for a deep breath work and meditation practice, and all of these things, which I think really helped shifted me. But at that same time in my life, if I did anything outside of that realm, even like eating a piece of fruit after a meal or not waking up for my 4:30 a.m. practice, I felt like shame and guilt, and I would feel bad about it. And I started realizing like, okay, well, like that's not healthy either, because that's not healthy for my mind, even though I'm doing all of these healthy practices. So now over the last couple of years, I've been able to find this balance of like, yes, I'm still rooted in my disciplined practice and I show up daily because I see what it does for me. But yes, I'm also still living in this society and I want to be playful and fun and enjoy my life. And I've built this like trust within myself that I can consciously make a decision Yes, I feel like doing this. No, I don't. Not out of like shame or guilt or I should, but it's because I have the option and I want to, or I don't. And I continue to connect and show up with myself daily. It's a lifelong journey. And yeah, and in my yogic wisdom course that's starting in February, we're gonna really go into detail about reaction patterns, control over emotions, and how to find the balance of the spiritual inner world while still living in this material-based world, allowing you to connect to your purpose energy. And yeah, daily discipline is how you trust yourself and always have something to fall back on. So I want you guys to, we're not going to do this now because we don't have time, but I want you guys to just take a photo of this journal prompt if you want. And I would like if you guys did it before you went to bed while this is all fresh in your mind. And then you can wake up in the morning, read what you wrote, and see if there is anything you would like to shift or add to feel better throughout your day. You really are your own best teacher. So I'm just guiding you with information that's been guided to me. And then you become your own inner teacher. Well, you already are, but you get to connect with that and learn. So I'll give you guys just another second to take a photo here. And then feel free after tomorrow, if like you want to share any of this or a photo, you can like DM me, or if you feel inclined, you can post this on any of your like social platforms or Instagram and tag me to see what you guys are doing and also to make sure that I'm following you guys. All right, you guys, I'm going to go to the next slide. Let's see what we have here. All right, you guys, I have a couple more slides, but I do want to do just like a 1 to 2 minute closing meditation here. Just to feel another tool and a skill that you can invite into your life and to reconnect again here. Before the next slides, I'm going to talk a little bit about my course and my Belize retreat to invite you guys into that. So before we do that, go ahead and close your eyes again, roll the shoulders back. Take any deep inhales through the nose and exhales out the mouth, letting anything go. So just allowing this meditation to be about building love and compassion for every part of you in every phase in your life. And I want you guys to imagine a color. So your eyes are closed, your gaze is internal toward your third eye, just a space between your eyes, and you're imagining a color. And this color is connected to your highest, truest, deepest, most loving, beautiful being. It's already inside of you. And then you start to watch this color and feel this color as it starts to nourish your mind. And color is wrapping around your brain, filling it with all the goodies and creativity. And then the same color is starting to travel into your body, down your arms, your heart space, your stomach, your back, your legs, your fingertips and your toes. Filling your entire body up, nourishing it with your color, your creativity, your purpose energy. And then taking that same color and inviting it to your breath. Nourishing this energy source, this life power that always rests inside of you, knowing you always have the tool and the skill of your breath to come back to ground you to the moment. And a gentle reminder, you always have time to take a pause before you react. Again, to close your eyes and reconnect with your highest self to see what serves you best. Just take a few more rounds of breath here, allowing your color to fill up your entire soul, your entire body. And then gently opening the eyes. I wish I could see you guys. All right, you guys. So we're going to go on to the next slide. We're going to do any like questions or comments. If you guys have any questions, you can write them in the chat and I'll go into that here in a second. If you have any comments, you can write that too. If you feel like you really want to say something out loud, you can feel free to unmute yourself. And I just want to talk about here is my yogic wisdom course that I want to invite you guys to. Some of you guys in it are already signed up with me, which I'm really excited about. But this course I've been working really hard on and really been working on it technically for the last 7 years of me studying. And I want to invite you guys into this course to deepen everything that we just talked about today and really dive into the 8 limbs of yoga and really how it can transform your life. And with that being said, since you guys all showed up with me live today, because I am going to do the recording, I didn't tell people that, but I'm going to do a recording and send it out to people because I wanted the more energy, the more people here. But since you guys showed up live, I'm still going to honor the 2022 pricing. So that's $1,000 off. If you guys, I'll put it in the links and I'll also put it in, or the link in the chat. I'll put it in my Instagram stories and all of that there as well. You guys, if you just book a call with me to dive deeper into the information about this course, I'll give you guys the $1,000 off. Or also if you book with a friend, you guys will get $250 off each. And that way you have an accountability partner. So I'm here to be your biggest fan. And this course is something that I'm really passionate about because it encompasses everything. So those of you who know me know that I love to travel the world and I love to deeply connect with humans and I love to learn and share yoga. And so this is a 5-month in-depth educational yoga wisdom course. So it's 5 months of education of yoga with me and guest teachers. It's going to be really, really an amazing experience if you really want to dive deeper and start to change and transform and show up for yourself in this next year and just have a committed, disciplined practice that you feel safe to return to. And with that being said, at the end of it, I have a Be in Belize luxury retreat, which I'm most excited about. So this is basically like your guys' graduation. So at the end of the 5 months, we all meet in June in Belize and everything is included. Everything's taken care of. You just show up. We're going to do yoga, yummy juices, all the most healing foods. It's going to be a really nice balance of disciplined, beautiful yoga practice and playful, have fun. There's like a local distillery bar. You're in the middle of the jungle, but you're still like at a 5-star resort. And you can see there on the left, a really beautiful pool. There's the river that you can swim in and go canoeing in. Those are one of the bungalows. So just imagine yourself here with your daily disciplined practice that you've been doing these last 5 months, waking up, committing to your journaling, meditating, and then moving your body in a way that feels good. And then you get to move and shift into this space right here in the jungle of Belize, drinking your coffee while juice and breakfast is served for you. I am really excited about it. This is something that is going to be a signature offer for me. So if you guys really want to transform and heal with me this next year, then make sure just to book a call and we can discuss anything you guys want. And this here is an energetic send. I'm just going to stop sharing for a second, come back into my full Zoom just to see if I have any. Here we go. Oh my God, I love everyone's written so many things. So before I end here, I'm going to do, I'll drop the link for the booking call. And I want to do an energetic send with you guys. So give me just a sec to get this link here copied. And if you guys are nervous or anything to ask any questions right now, feel free to book the call. The call is free. So just hop on a call with me and then we can like discuss anything that you want. Yeah, let's drop it here. So yeah, Does anyone, before we do the energetic send, have anything at all that they want to write in the chat or ask or say? Okay, that's usually how it goes. So I had that on my last slide, the energetic send, and there is this yoga teacher who I love, and he does this thing where you clap something out into the universe, which I also think is really neat because we're from different parts of the world or the US right now. And I wanted to come up with something that was a little bit of my own, but still connected with the sending something out into the universe. So I came up with an energetic send, which really goes in line with the purpose energy. So again, close your eyes because it allows you to become less connected with the external world and come back into your internal world, which is already so beautiful as it is right here, right now. I want you guys for one more time just to think of what you would want your life to look like in 2023. If you were feeling a nice, purpose-filled, energetic life, what would that feel like? What would it look like? You can breathe deeply into that. For me, it's creativity, focus, abundance, love, truth, compassion, letting go of my fear-based thoughts, so many things. And then I want you guys to think about maybe somebody specific in your life or people in your life or people in the world that you know might need this healing energy. Or maybe they need that little push to move to the next step, rather just staying on the fence, whether they should make the decision or not, whatever that may be. And then I want you to inhale as deep as you can. And then exhale all that energy out into the universe. And then inhale. Inhale a little bit more. Hold the breath. And then exhale, let it go. And then we are going to clap on the count of 3. We're going to clap all this beautiful purpose energy into 2023 so every being can live the most connected, free, loving, abundant, aligned life that they truly desire, including yourself. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I hope you enjoyed. Check your guys' emails for the replay. And yeah, you guys all follow me on Instagram.